Welcome back, boss. So you know you need to delegate, but you're not really sure where to get started or even if you can afford it. A key to effective leadership is the ability to delegate low-cost, high-value tasks because they are going to start bringing you money into your business that you can then reinvest into hiring out your full dream team. I'm Amy Walker, small business strategist. Being a business owner is challenging. There's a lot on your plate and you're never really done because there's always like a new level or a new task or a new place that you can create improvement. And so you just really have a lot on your plate. And we all know that we need to delegate, but that doesn't mean that you know like where to get started or what are the first tasks to hire out or even where to go to find the right talent. So in today's video, we are going to break this all down for you. The first question I want you to ask yourself is, where do you make the most money for your business? This is really important to understand because there's the tasks that we do where we're directly earning income. So for me, that's things like when I host a retreat or an online event and we're actually selling at that event, that's going to bring in a lot of money for the business. It could be like when I'm doing a speaking opportunity and I get to sell at that speaking opportunity, that can bring in a lot of business. It could also be me doing a one-on-one sales call. That's, I think, the thing that a lot of business owners look at first is where do they directly make money? But let me point to you in a direction that is really, really important. When you as the business owner work on your overall sales strategy, work on your overall marketing strategy, and you're creating something that other people can implement but is really dramatically going to increase sales for the team, that's probably the place, honestly, where you make the most money for your business. At least I know for me it is. Because I'm only one person, but my whole team, they can outproduce and outperform what I can do by myself. The second thing that I want you to look at is what do you do that literally no one else can do? So because my business is Amy Walker Consulting, there is no one else that can create YouTube videos for us, right? Like this is my channel. I could have other people on with me, but I can't not be on the channel because it's not the way that I set up my channel. If I have sold one-on-one coaching, and it was with me, then I've got to show up for that. If there's a group coaching program and I am the teacher for it, I've got to show up for those teaching opportunities because that's what we sold. Now, once you have that list, I want you to take it a step further and say, now, is this true or could someone else do this? For example, with group coaching, you could sell a group coaching program where somebody else is the trainer, right? So sometimes we have in our mind things that have to be us, but really they don't have to be us. So what I'm trying to get to in this first section is what do you need to do more of in order to create more sales for the business? And what can you actually do less of that you feel like has to be you, but really could probably be someone else? So once you know the answer to those first two questions, what absolutely has to be done by me and what do I do that generates the most revenue for the business, literally everything else should be delegated. Now, I'm not saying that you can do that all today or even tomorrow or even next week. It might take time to the point where you can really delegate all that out. But we have to have a starting framework of what are the essentials that you want to protect. If this is helpful and you're getting some good information, go ahead and hit the like button and then subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content. So what is a low-cost, high-value task? This is a task that is going to directly generate income and increase the revenue in the business, but it's not going to be that expensive to hire out. So most people, when they start hiring, what they want to delegate out first is their busy work, right? So they recognize, okay, this is where I make the most money for the business. This is the things only I can do. So all this other busy work stuff, I want to delegate that out. I have a client right now who she and her core team members are really maxed out. And this was their first go-to as well. Like, we just need to delegate out all the busy work. And I was like, wait, pause. Hold on. What if instead we delegated out the things that make us money so that we can get positive ROI on that investment? Because if you delegate out the business tasks, the busy work, the things that don't make you money, that's just going to feel like an expense against your bottom line every single month. Whereas when we hire out the things that do make us money, it allows us to be able to increase sales, increase revenue, so that then those people pay for themselves. And then the increase that you have from overall revenue can then go to hiring the next round of people who are going to do the busy work. Can I get like a little round of applause for this? This strategy is going to make such an impact as you're trying to grow your team. This is really a different way to look at hiring and delegating, because what most people do is they either pay a low cost to delegate out low value tasks and they hire out all their busy work, or they pay a high cost to delegate out their high value tasks. So that would look like hiring an agency. Now, I feel a lot of things about small business owners hiring agencies. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I am saying I would be really careful with it. Because when you go hire a marketing agency and you're paying them $2,000, $2,500, up to $5,000 a month for the agency, and then you have not very much budget to actually spend on like ads, for example, for marketing, you're not going to get, it's going to be really hard to get a positive ROI because your ad spend is too low because you spent so much on the agency. The other thing is, let's say that you find an agency where you're paying them $1,500, $2,000, which feels more affordable in your budget. Well, guess what is going to happen then? You are the smallest fish in their pool. So is your account going to be getting the amount of time and attention that you want? No, it's not, because they're spending their time and attention on the bigger clients. So when you use this strategy, what's going to happen is it's going to get you more effort for the dollars that you put in, and it's not really that hard to do. So I told you that I was going to tell you the 3 positions that every business can hire out that will make a very quick effect on their bottom line. And here's what they are. Number 1 is hiring out someone to help with lead generation tasks. So when I'm working with my clients, here's where we start. We start by figuring out their organic marketing strategy and their paid strategy and how they complement each other. And we really build out a good, solid marketing plan. Then we go through and we create workflows. So for example, a client who wants to do podcast interviews, we're going to build out the step-by-step of how to get that person scheduled on podcasts. If we are going to run online events, we're going to build out the step-by-step for the online events. If we're going to be doing in-person community engagement booths, we're going to build out the step-by-step for that. So that's what I call a workflow. Now, once we have gotten to that point that you have the workflow in place, you can hire a virtual assistant to come in and do the workflow. So if you were paying an agency $1,500 a month, how many hours a month are they actually working on your account? It's not nearly as much as if you even halved that number and just put that into paying somebody to do those workflows for you. The next position that I really recommend hiring, and this one does need to come after you have leads. If you hire this before you have leads, it's going to be a problem. They won't probably work out, but it's your appointment setter. Once you have leads coming in, the next position that I recommend hiring out is your appointment setter. They are going to take all of those leads and they're going to call them and they're going to see who's interested, who's qualified, and they're going to schedule them to have a sales consultation. Maybe they're scheduling them to come into the office and have like an office tour and meet the team. Maybe they're scheduling them for a lunch meeting or a phone consultation, whatever that looks like for you. That's what your appointments do, is they keep the sales calendar full. Now, in a minute, I'm going to share with you a couple of case studies for clients that we have gone through this process with and show you how we put these all in place in order and how it increased their sales. But the third position is going to be prospecting. So prospecting is not a dead skill. I love prospecting. This is simply going out and finding where your ideal clients are, getting their information and doing cold reach outs to them. But I don't recommend that you do cold reach outs in the traditional way. I recommend that you have a strategy in place to warm them up so that when you really do reach out and ask for a sales meeting, they're actually fairly warm. So when you have someone prospecting for you, that is going to save you a ton of time, but it can generate a lot of sales. In particular, LinkedIn is a phenomenal platform to be able to find your ideal client, connect with them, start building a relationship, and then see if there's a way that you can serve them. But LinkedIn's not the only one. There are a lot of prospecting platforms and tools out there. It's just time consuming. And this is where a lot of business owners fall short with it, is they don't have the time to dedicate and put in every single day. What I love about all 3 of these positions is that they can all be hired out for a very inexpensive rate, and they are all going to generate sales so that they pay for themselves. Yay, I love it. Once you have these positions working, then you will have the money to go and hire out those busy work tasks that are really bogging you down. The faster you hire these first 3 positions, the faster that you can get support in doing all of the busy work tasks. Can I tell you the number one thing that I see that keeps small businesses struggling? It is the unwillingness to hire. It is the thought process of, I need to wait until I can afford it before I hire help. Instead of looking at it and saying, I know I need help in order to grow. Where is the right place to hire? What's the right price I should be paying? And how can I use that hire to generate more money so that then I can build my team? If you want to grow, this is part of the plan. Now, if you're not really sure how to do this, or like where your business is at, or maybe you don't know what are the workflows you would have them do or what they should say when they're setting, I invite you to take our Sales and Marketing GPS. It is a survey that you're going to answer some questions, and then based on what you answer, we'll give you back an improvement plan that will give you a great starting point for how to make sure you have the right strategy in place so that you can hire. So where do I hire? I do the majority of my hiring on onlinejobs.ph. I have found really good, talented people there. It's all hiring people based out of the Philippines. There's a few reasons why I love the Philippines, and I've made actually quite a few videos on this if you want to go and check them out. But number one, English is really widely spoken there. Number two, it's very affordable to hire there. Number three, a lot of Fortune 500 companies run their businesses there. And so a lot of these people have worked for big American companies already, and they're very well trained when they come to me. And probably the last one is they're super loyal, they're delightful to work with, and I just have great team members that I hope are with me for the next 15 years. I don't know if they will be, but I would love to have them with me forever. They're awesome. So how much do I pay? That's going to depend on what the specific skill is. For my appointment setters, I start them out at $6 an hour, which is a little bit higher than what most of them are asking for. And then I also pay them bonuses when people actually close on programs. So that way they can be incentivized to want to set really good appointments for me, and they end up making more than they could make working with somebody else. For my virtual marketing assistants, this depends on the work that's actually in the workflow. If it's just kind of like busy task work that they just need to do the same things over and over and over again, you could probably get this person for somewhere between $5 to $6 an hour. If you're looking for somebody who's more skilled, like they can actually run your CRM or they can build landing pages for you, then you're going to be paying more, and that could go up as high as $11 to $15 an hour. So it's going to be kind of a range in there, but it still is very low cost. Now, every time I make one of these videos, I get some angry virtual assistant from somewhere in the world that's like, these rates are too low. But here's the thing, when I go into online jobs, I click on their profiles and I see how much they're asking for. And then I post my jobs according to the hourly rate that people are asking for in that industry. So I get that this is inexpensive. I get that there are virtual assistants out there that are wanting to charge more. I'm just simply telling you where I go to hire mine and how much they're asking for and how much I pay them. So make of that what you will. I promised I would share a case study with you. I have a client who came to me, started working with me in the fall. And when we first started working together, they were kind of in a sales slump. You know, we all get there sometimes, and didn't know what they needed to do to get out of it and really grow their business the way that they wanted. The very first thing that we did was we focused on consistent lead generation. The second thing that we did was we got them an appointment setter in place. And when we did those two things, that first month, they did $100K in contracted sales. They'd never had a 6-figure month before. And then the very next month after that, they were at about $40K in contracted sales. So this can make a very quick turnaround. That was after like 3 months of working together. It doesn't have to take you forever, but you do have to be willing to jump in and start making the changes. If this is helpful and you're digging this content, make sure that you hit the like button and then subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content. All right, we've talked about delegation. We've talked about this being a key leadership principle. And the next video you're gonna want to go watch is what is my leadership style? Can't wait to see you there.